So,
Episode 186, Seddy BIMCO, counting down to the end times.
end times.
Yep. The end of Seddy BIMCO.
The show asks the question, what kind of revenge sequel should this movie have? Or should it have
Yes. We take movies that never had revenge-based sequels, and wouldn't you know, we sure as hell give them sequels. Tim, this movie was your choice. What was the movie that we did this week?
Well, it has three names. It was called The Devil Times 5, The Haunted House on the Hill, and People Toys.
That's not it. Nope.
Was it The Haunted...
The Horrible House on the Hill. And you forgot
House.
one. Yeah, you forgot one too. I'll tell people later. Give us our old age question, Tim.
3 years before Star Wars. I reached back to the days of Seddy Edward BIMCO. My uncles and cousins. They were friends with George Washington.
Wow. Here, I thought Seddy Edward BIMCO was more of a contemporary of Mark Twain. This is exciting to hear.
And he knew George Washington when he did have wooden teeth, before he got the ivory.
Forget the hippo ivory teeth?
Yep. Because people used to say all the time, did George Washington, when he had wooden teeth, did he ever get revenge on that damn termite cookie salesman? Now, those are the jokes they made back then. Those were the jokes they made back then.
Folks, the best part of this joke is something you'll never see. It's me watching Tim's face as he nervously tries to read his own turgid punchline he wrote. Stumbled over the words, looked back and forth nervously. Will I get it out? Will I get it out? And he kind of did.
Termite cookie.
Termite cookies.
Pirates, they had hardtack back then with bugs in it. That's how it worked back then. You know that?
I got a follow-up question, Tim.
Yeah.
Are these cookies served raw?
No, you dip them in beer.
So you dip they're served. I like that. That the answer doesn't answer the question. Are these raw? No, you dip them in beer. Oh, of course. So the termites are dead
until they're revived.
Oh, the
you
beer
and your logical
revives them.
jokes. You and your
jokes that make no sense.
It's Seddy BIMCO Part 2, The Revenge. The show where we create revenge sequels that nobody wanted.
It's Seddy BIMCO, Part 2, The Revenge. It was tough jokes this week. You know what? My doctor gave me steroids. Did you ever have them?
First off, are you being serious? Because I do know you did go to the doctor this week.
Yeah.
What did they give you steroids for?
It makes you stay awake, and it makes your brain buzz, and it's like, I can't concentrate. Well, they do it to do things to your body, and they're going to test things.
Well, you're looking remarkably swole right now, like you've hulked out.
Thank God I didn't have to inject them into my butt.
Tim, so folks, if you've listened to the breath of Seddy BIMCO, you know that Tim has shared stories where he's very squeamish around needles in the sight of blood. And he was sharing on his text thread that as a result of his doctor trip, which everything's okay, Tim, right? Should we assure the listeners? Yeah.
Just checking things out.
Just checking stuff out. They took some blood from him, and he almost passed out. And as he was leaving, on one arm, he's like, oh, groggy. He's like, I need to go lay down and have my dog comfort me. And they're like, oh, wait, Mr. Hamilbone.
We need two more bottles.
To take some more blood. 2 more? Oh, God. And I think what you wrote in the thread was, I almost passed out. Vomited, passed out. It was like you combined the 2 words.
It's a cold sweat.
Oh.
I don't look. I don't know how big the bottles are. I can't look. Are they big? Are they tiny?
I remember I was just telling my wife this story as I was relating the story of you almost passing out from blood. I'm not squeamish with blood particularly, but there was a time when I was a kid where they're like, don't worry, we're only taking like 2 cubic liters of blood. I'm like, that's not a lot. Liters. They're like, no. And I remember looking over and seeing the blood coursing, and it even had a pulse as it was coming out, filling this thing. Yeah. It was. And I remember being like, whoop, wish I hadn't done that.
2 cubic. Oof.
That might be an exaggeration, but it was 2. I think it was 2 cubic. Yeah.
It's like your whole head.
I mean, yeah. And I had a big head. Still do.
You still do.
Still have a very large head.
So I don't know what I'm going to be like. Steroids make you feel like you're awake at 5 a.m. I can't go back to sleep.
Oh, and you're very susceptible to that stuff anyway. Yeah.
Let's go run. Let's go punch things.
You wake up early anyway.
Yeah, I have a dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dog stares at me, and I'm like, you want to get up? Okay, let me go to the bathroom. And then I come in, and guess where the dog is?
At the door?
No, laying in my spot in the bed.
Oh, what a dick.
What do you think?
The funny thing about if you actually have your eyes closed, you can't tell what the dog's doing.
No, but it's staring at you.
She could be staring till the cows come home. You're like, I don't care. My eyes is closed. You need to be like me. I wear a mask to go to sleep. I just can't be relied on to keep my eyes closed.
I can't do that.
Feels good. I can't even I think I've mentioned this. I can't even sleep anymore without something resting on my face. Like when I take naps, I have to wear my glasses. It's very weird.
Well, so, I will announce it here, by the way.
Okay, we have a big announcement, everybody. Let's hear this big announcement.
That I've been doing this podcast 3 years. At least
we're nearly up to episode 200 in a sense.
And I just need to make an adjustment. And some people say it's okay to do a podcast every 2 weeks, every other week. And what we'll do is we're going to hype up the production on these episodes. Maybe they'll last hour and a half. Maybe there'll be more sound effects.
Maybe there'll be less terrible jokes.
Write better jokes.
Yep. Folks.
Have to have some time for other stuff.
There won't be, yeah. No, life beckons from other directions. Tim's had a lot of great opportunities recently. No, it's just, folks, like, this is a lot of work, and Tim really does all the work. I show up, no surprise to anybody. I wing these things. My biggest contribution to the show is I end up watching every movie 2 or 3 times because I always space out on them.
Wow.
It's, man.
Who are you contributing to? What's that a contribution to?
I say mad funny jokes as we talk about them, but Tim does all the editing. I mean, you hear Tim writes like these minor novellas each time. Tim, you do not fly by the seat of your pants.
I do sometimes.
Never. We used to have like the wild card question, and you had so many like on-air breakdowns doing that we had to remove that part. Like you need to have this shit planned out.
Maybe I'll bring it back.
Wait. So yeah. So I mean, remind me of something exciting I want to talk to Tim about. But yeah, so for at least the foreseeable future, Seddy BIMCO is going to be moving to a bi-weekly release schedule. I'm going to be spending a lot of time this year on the road. Kevin Cablasto is, I mean, we haven't seen him ever since that incident, right?
The incident,
that unfortunate, with the hedge clipper.
Hedge clipper.
Yeah, it's bad.
So he may be coming back
if we find him. So. This is an ending of sorts. It's an ending of a time of Seddy BIMCO. Like, it's been, except for some holidays and stuff, it's been this steady release thing. And it was making me think about, I don't think there has ever been a podcast that has gone through as many permutations as Seddy BIMCO has.
Really?
Man, this week, you on a recent episode mentioned, we were talking Sasquatch as we often do. And you mentioned in an early episode, your friend Adam, you couldn't remember his name, Adam Pittman, was on, and he had done a Sasquatch film. Like, I kind of vaguely remember that. So I searched out that episode, which I think was like your 6th or 7th episode, maybe your 8th, and listened to it recently. And Tim, man.
What?
So, folks, this is well before I joined the podcast, although I had been a guest at one point in this. And listening to you and original host John Kelly before he was ruined with his olive oil addiction, you two were so genteel and polite. And there's a bit when the humor gets ever so close to like mentioning something slightly scatological, and you very politely defer it. Like, oh no, we shouldn't talk about that. And you're talking about like that like TV show you used to watch about an old couple riding the locks of England.
Oh yeah.
And, like, John's talking about something, like, equally just bucolic and old. And it's such, like, a funny podcast. I'm like, wow, listening to this thing. Like, I think about what Seddy BIMCO's become now. And then I did get the bug up my butt. I'm like, you know what? I should listen to that first episode I was a guest on. Because the original premise of Seddy BIMCO, if you haven't listened to all of them, was it was Tim and John, 2 old men, discussing the traumas of teenage and high school. And they would alternate between watching movies that ostensibly had something to do with the teenage experience or the high school experience and having guests on. And I was a guest on like episode 5 or 6. And it was interesting after listening to this solo outing of you and John early on to seeing how quickly I dragged the show into the toilet, even as a guest.
Did you tell your story about the underwear in the woods?
I did. That was the main story. But I mentioned shitting pants. There was so much shitting talk that we did there that producer Mrs. Lee had to step on and be like, please stop talking about pants shitting. And now you listen to Seddy BIMCO, I'm like, look what it has become. In the lead up to I vow this, in the lead up to our 200th and episode. I want to do a retrospective that I will compile of the
Really?
different eras of Seddy BIMCO.
I can't
Just
listen.
like it was also
Go ahead.
this episode with Adam Pittman.
Yeah.
He also mentioned, crazy enough, he told you, I wasn't on this one, that Grizzly 2 had just been
That's
released.
right. He mentioned
Grizzly
that.
2, later a Seddy BIMCO movie.
That's right.
It was so much stuff that was in the Seddy BIMCO oeuvre, had its beginning in this episode, and then was utterly perverted by what this show has become.
Shout out to you, Mr. Pittman.
Mr. Pittman. And what's the next step for Seddy BIMCO after the bi-weekly releases? Probably death.
I don't know.
Speaking of death, that's a good segue for tonight's
Is that a
movie, huh?
segue?
Ah! All right.
Harvey! We were on our way to Hollywood when it happened,
Oh, so you're an actor.
among other things.
The safest thing to do is stay together in one room and start out in the morning.
Did you read that someplace?
Why don't you figure out something better to do instead of sitting around sucking on that pipe and making smart-ass remarks?
We will be friends, Harvey Beckman.
Sure, by all means.
So yeah, this movie, this was interesting because Tim found it on Tubi as Devil Times 5.
Yes.
Yet the title card on the actual movie as it played said The Horrible House on the Hill, which is one of its re-release names. It was also released as People Toys, depending on the source, one word or two. And in the UK, it was released as Tantrums.
Oh, another name.
Probably the best of them, I think. Like, none of those names are particularly good, I think.
No.
People
Devil Times
Toys kinda
5 is
sucks.
Okay.
It's It's it is okay, but I remember when you told me the name of the movie. I'm like, what does that even mean? That's like, what is that?
They should have called it the Apple Dumpling Gang.
That's good, dude. I think they should have called it One Flew Over a Really Little Cuckoo's Nest.
That's Little Rascals.
Little Rascals. That's good.
Something.
That's good. Yeah. What else? What else?
The
Toy Soldiers. How do they not call it Toy Soldiers?
Kenny Baker Gang. Sorry.
For those of you who don't live and breathe Star Wars ephemera, Kenny Baker was the little man locked inside of R2-D2. Eventually starved to death there. All right, so this movie was filmed in 73, but was released originally in 74 under the name People Toys.
Not good. I thought it was going to be... Oh, well, go ahead.
Oh, directed by Sean McGregor, and for some reason they felt the need to tell me an uncredited David Sheldon. Don't know who that is. Do you want to read your synopsis, Tim?
I didn't write one, but the synopsis
I have
is-
the one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right. The film follows a group of 4 sociopathic homicidal children who, accompanied by a mysterious nun, seek refuge with a number of snobbish vacationers at a lakeside chalet, only to systematically murder them one by one.
And did you see Sorrel Brooks? People, do they know who he is? He's in this movie. Did you?
I didn't know who he was until I was looking up, and I got very excited. If you're an old like
Boss
us,
Hogg, people.
yeah, and he got top billing.
He's
So
the
was
best
this at
actor
the-
in here, I think.
Was this
Don't
at the
you think?
height of like? I'm a little no. That wasn't even on the air yet, right?
No, I don't think Dukes of Hazzard was till 79. It was like on the same night as the Hulk.
Because that was. I remember that being in my childhood, so this would have been a little bit too early for that.
I didn't like it, but it was on after or before the Hulk, so I'd see a little bit of it. Like Daisy Duke, them Duke boys.
I like that Daisy Duke.
I didn't like her at all.
No?
I don't know. Did she wear pantyhose? Her and Wonder Woman, when they wear the fake pantyhose as a kid, I'm like, you just got long pantyhose on. That's...
You got shiny legs. I want to
Yeah,
see
shiny
bare,
legs.
rippling skin.
I
I know
know
there's an episode here where I talk about my childhood traumas related to the Dukes of Hazzard because I wanted to pretend like I was cool and liked it, but all I watched was cartoons. So I drew a picture of my favorite TV show, and I drew a picture of them stepping out of their car, and the whole class was like, "You're a liar! They can't open that car doors."
You drew a great big Confederate flag on the top.
I know, I did. It was from the side view, so you couldn't see the big fucking racist symbol on top of them.
Also in this movie, you probably don't know
yep.
who he is. Leif Garrett. He was David.
Oh. So that is really funny because I know the name Leif Garrett because, like, I would always see his name. I honestly didn't know who he was to the point where I thought he was the guy playing Rick until I looked it up.
Yeah.
Rick, the guy with the mustache, but he's the little boy.
He's a little boy. He was like
Yep.
a kind of a teen heartthrob when he got older. And he was in a lot of shows, but he never had his own show.
Yeah, I looked up his Wikipedia after this.
Ooh.
I'm like, I haven't heard of like anything this guy was in, but I knew his name.
He sadly became he grew up and like had drug and alcohol problems because he was a kid star.
It says that he's well known for his drug and alcohol problems. Well, did you see who else was in this?
And if you're talking about the woman from Will and Grace,
Nope.
who are you talking about?
Oh, wait, who was?
Shelley Morrison, who's a woman in this movie who's the drunk. They're always like,
yeah, Ruth.
She's got a drink. She's drunk. She's having the DTs.
And she is, to her credit, she's very drunk the whole movie.
She was the older woman on Will and Grace, the Rosario. She was the assistant to Karen. She'd always show up. She was kind of a drunk, too. You know the sassy lady on Will and Grace who worked for Grace?
Yes.
She had a maid. That
was this lady?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was like a funny maid.
These two people are less famous in themselves, but more interesting. So the little girl Mo
Leaf's
in this movie,
sister.
Leif Garrett's real sister, and the woman Lovely, his mother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't read that.
Yeah, that's pretty wacky because like he's dragging her naked through the snow at one point. I'm like, you saw they bent, and the little girl, her daughter, drops a piranha on her. I have some crazy little behind the scenes stories I want to follow really quickly.
Yeah.
People Toys was filmed in Lake Arrowhead in Big Bear Lake, California between February and April 1973. The production was notably tense between director Sean McGregor and producer Michael Blowitz, with Blowitz recalling that at one point McGregor punched Blowitz in the face, to which Blowitz responded by throwing McGregor through a plate glass window.
Ooh, a real one, I wonder.
I guess. And then actor Tier Turner recalled that for himself and the other child actors, I guess Tier Turner played the little army boy.
Oh, yeah.
The shoot was like a vacation. We were having a great time. One moment that stood out was in filming the piranha scene when one of the fish turned out to still be alive and bit the adult actor on the leg.
Yes. I read that.
So Leif Garrett's mother got bit by a real piranha while she was being... Well, that's spoilers, folks.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
And Leif Garrett, I don't know if you saw this, but he sang on a Scientology album, The Road to Freedom.
Oof.
And I was going to play a clip, but they're known for being litigious. So you can go to YouTube. There's a old Scientology album called The Road to Freedom from the 70s. You want to hear him sing on it.
And who doesn't?
I feel bad for him. He played a kid on The Odd Couple. Felix's kid. He's just a guest on lots of shows.
Everything comes back to The Odd Couple with you.
Yeah, this is
He's still
1974.
alive. He's still alive.
He had an MTV show, one of those shows where you're like, I'm alive and still kicking. And
Really?
yeah, I didn't see it.
Nope, never even heard of it.
This is 1974, which has nothing. We talked about this. No Pet Rock, no Star Wars, no Bicentennial, no Superman.
Just a bad year. No, it came out in 74. No, it came out in 74.
What?
Blazing Saddles.
Ah.
And The Godfather Part 2. So, some pretty good fucking... Oh, know what else? The fucking Exorcist.
No, nice. That's why this movie came out, right? Little kids being evil. That's why.
Maybe.
Because this movie never gives us any clue as to why these kids are evil.
Oh, it does. It gives us one clue, which I only noticed because I had to watch it twice.
Oh, okay. Glad you found something.
There's a few things I figured out because the movie. So should we talk about the movie?
Yeah, not sure how we're gonna get through it. It's wintertime. It's snow time in the mountains.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to the mountains, and there's lots of radio talk about a big storm. Okay, people, got that?
And the people. Here's the main characters you need to know. Well, first we meet Rick, who is this guy with a mustache and he's kind of balding.
It's so 70s.
So 70s. Like, he is like the most 70s guy I've ever seen in my life. And he has a relationship with
Julie. I got their names.
Yeah. And they are going up to the mountains to stay with her dad, who everybody annoyingly calls Papa Doc, but
That's his name.
I call him Papa Duke.
Or Dick.
Yep.
Because he is a dick.
They're going to be up there at the same time as Harvey Beckman, who is the character Boss Hogg plays. Mm-hmm. Harvey Beckman's wife, who is a drunk.
They already say this in the car. They're like, that old lady needs a nipple with some whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah. And then speaking of nipples, Kevin Cablasto, occasional co-host, You'll see a lot of nipples, which was a shock to me.
Really?
And then there was also there's Lovely, who is the young trophy wife of Papa Duke.
Dick. Why are you saying Duke? He's such a dick.
Because he's like popping his shit. He's Papa Duke.
And he says,
popping
I'm
the
not a
Duke.
doctor. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what's going on in this movie.
So he owns hospitals, and he's like a very serious. I wrote down he's like a real Republican guy. He's like, I never had time to play around. I've been working since I was 14, and he is opening up a new hospital complex. And Harvey Beckman, aka Boss Hogg, wants to be put in charge of it, but he wants to give it to Rick because Rick is engaged
to his daughter,
or is going to be engaged to his daughter. But Rick doesn't want to do that shit because Rick just wants to be cool and be groovy.
Like,
I wrote Rick was a
yeah.
Let's go up.
Well, he's just let's go skiing and sled riding. Can't we just relax? Your dad's such a dick.
Yeah, they're all dicks.
Because he's got to keep up with his brother, Papa John, and his pizza places.
I wrote that the character of Rick is a real prototype for Meathead of All in the Family.
Right.
R.I.P. Rob Reiner.
He doesn't seem very open-minded.
No, he seems like a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Which is the line you can say about virtually every character in this movie.
Yes, there's nobody.
And at the same time, while we see Rick and Julie are Rick and Julie are driving up. We see a yellow van playing music.
This confused me. This was bad editing at first. Did it
This
confuse
was
you
very.
at first?
I had to rewind it the first time I watched it. I still didn't understand it, and it wasn't until watching the whole movie the second time that I understood what happened.
Yes.
Van has a blowout, spins out of control for what seems like 5 minutes.
They speed up the
Shoots
film,
off the
too.
side of the mountain. They speed up the film, flips over, boom. It doesn't blow up to its credit. Next thing we see in the snow, there are 4 kids. 3 kids we see at first.
We can name them. There's Sister Hannah, is it? And
we don't see
Susan.
her right away.
Well, I'm just naming them for the people listening.
Okay.
Mo, David, and Brian.
Yeah. So here's the traits. Sister
Brian.
Hannah, as you might guess, is a nun.
Dressed
or
up
is
like
she?
a nun.
She's not a nun. Mo doesn't really have much of a defining feature as far as the kids. She's the most
She's small.
innocent seeming of the kids and the youngest. There is what's his name?
Brian, he's an army man, army kid.
Brian. He's like a little soldier. He says affirmative, positive. He runs everything on the clock. He's carrying a little toy machine gun.
URAWOM.
There is
David, who is Leif Erikson.
Yeah, and his whole thing is he's very adult-like, and thinks he's beautiful, but he also at points is a cross-dresser. And he keeps referring to a character named George.
Your son of George? Nope. Why?
Who I still couldn't decide who George was.
Right.
I actually thought George was a character they killed, but I think actually because he mentions him again later after he's dead, I think he is an alternate personality.
I think they kill him and still talk about him. I'm not sure.
It's hard to say. And
there's
then there's
Susan,
a character,
who likes,
Susan, who's a pyro.
Who likes flames.
Yeah. And so they get out, and there's some people who are still dead in the car, and we see the little soldier boy go in there, and he's like, he says something about a sister. So here's something I didn't get right away. Did you catch? It's not really obvious that the Sister Hannah is not really a nun.
I assumed. She looked like she was young.
Because they even make that line later. They're like, "You seem awfully young to be a nun." She goes, "I'm a novice." All the kids laugh.
Well, I have written here, Sister Hannah was really playing up the nun act. So I guess I realized it in my notes. Because did you notice, George? She was really playing up the nun act. She even had.
Sounds like a list.
She had her official Catholic Playboy mag, which is called "You'll have none of this." That's the name of it. It's filled with pictures of women. That's what the nuns will have none of, and they're not going to see any pictures of naked men. And the centerfold
They're not in the habit of seeing that?
Nope, they're not in the habit of seeing them. Nope. And this 1972 issue of You'll Have None of This, the centerfold was Lot's wife, George.
It's just a pillar of salt.
Yes.
Whoa.
Her guilty pleasures, I read through her questionnaire, guilty pleasures, mixing it up with pepper. Her favorite city, come on, Salt Lake. Favorite books, anything not by Gideon.
Gideon's Bible? Is that the joke?
Anything, but not by. Because the Bible is hard on her.
I see what you're saying.
Biggest regret, getting all those pet snails. her favorite activity, telling people they just need a little bit more of her. People she relates
Subtly raising
to.
Yeah.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay.
And a good...
Wait.
Because she would melt, too, in the water. Salt just melts in the water.
Oh, okay. Salt melts the water. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And a good first date, George, for her? Any date is great as long as her date isn't insulting her.
That really sucked.
I know it did. It really did.
You know,
But-
did you hear the audible feeling of relief of dozens of listeners is like, well, thank God we only have to listen to this every 2 weeks now.
That's what steroids
So-
does to you.
That's what it does to you. So you've clearly been steroids this entire time. Tim, did you notice how long the credits lasted on this movie too?
It was a while.
It was over 15 fucking minutes. The
Oh.
credits still kept popping up. I was outraged.
Did not
And
notice that.
this is a recurring theme I want to come to because this was a recurring theme literally in the movie. The music, the haunting music that they play is basically London Bridges falling down. But I watched this with something I've learned from you. I watched this with subtitles on.
Yes.
And the same song every time they play it, depending on what the scene was, they would caption it differently.
Oh.
So as the bus is like falling down the hill and like the kids are coming out, they play for the first time. They play the weird London Bridge song, and it says suspenseful music.
Okay.
We'll come back to that later. So Julie and Rick arrive at the chalet, and
We didn't say why this was confusing, though, because Rick and Julie are talking in the car. Then suddenly they switch to the van wrecking. Then they go back to the Julie.
Yeah, it was very.
That's what confused me.
And we never spent any time talking to people in the van. So like at first, if you're not paying a lot of attention, which a lot of times early in a movie, you're just like trying to learn who everybody is. You're like, wait, did they just go off the van? And then the second they're not in the van,
Yes.
or like, it was very weird. So they arrive at the chalet, and then shortly thereafter, Papa Duke, Harvey Beckman, Ruth.
Well, George,
and Lovely, yep.
don't skip the restaurant they met at. They met at a restaurant first, and I loved
forgot
it.
this.
It was a 70s restaurant with wood paneling, big fireplace. I just had to mention it. I remember those.
Okay.
The salad was
honestly-
probably iceberg lettuce with hothouse tomatoes, a lot of pepper,
I do not remember this at all.
giant croutons with garlic flavored. That was a salad back then. But yeah, it was a resort. They had the fireplace and everything. It just looked like a terrible 70s place. And Papa Doc is like, I own hospitals, and the boss hog's wife is like, tell him you want a job. Tell him you want that job. That's what she does the whole weekend.
Yeah, so basically, Ruth, who is Boss Hogg's wife, she's pestering him to ask for a raise. And they're sitting there talking, and Papa Duke mentions that he's going to open up this new hospital in San Francisco, and he says outright he's thinking of having Rick take over. And Boss Hogg's like, but I thought that was going to be my job. But that's all he kind of gets out, and his wife's like, you're a coward, you're a coward.
And she keeps drinking.
Yep, she's and that's the last we see of her sober. But there's also one other character who's important, Ralph, who is the mentally disabled servant
Well, that's
that
when they
lives
go
at
to
the chalet.
his house. Yeah, he has a servant who's...
Okay.
And thank God they never use the R word. I thought we were going to hear it 1,000
No,
times.
he's not, though, because they kind of reveal why he's the way he is.
Did they? I missed a
Yeah.
lot. Did you catch a disease from all his pet rabbits?
Well, okay, I'll tell you why. So he is very much like Lenny from like
Mice and Men.
he like chops the wood, he runs the generator and stuff. He seems very high functioning, but he does talk in a way that shows that there's some sort of like slowness. The first big scene we get with him, aside from him running around doing stuff and getting yelled at by Papa Duke, is Papa Duke's wife, Lovely, is in a room, and she's a pretty woman, and she has this very musical voice, and she's all like, Ralph, come here. Ralph, you look very strong. Ralph, pick me up. Ralph, pick me up and put me on your shoulders. Ralph, carry me to the bed. Ralph, rub my feet. Ralph, take off my shoes. And like this scene goes on forever.
I know.
And she ends up making him take off his pants and stuff. And he's sitting there in his like long johns.
Well,
And she's like,
he throws her on the bed, and she goes, not like that, Ralph.
she goes, take off your shirt. And he throws the shirt. He goes, I didn't want your shirt. It's just so weird, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
she's trying to seduce him, but it's every few seconds he proves more and more how this full-grown man, has the intellect of a child.
Yeah.
And then she's finally like, Ralph, have you ever had a woman? And this is where he gives the clue what happened
Oh, that's
to
right.
Tim.
That's right.
I had a mother and two sisters, but they got squished by a bus.
It's like, wow.
And then she tells him to pull down his pants, and he's all like sitting there. And she's like, "What do you want to do now, Ralph?" And he's like, "I want to feed my rabbits." And luckily, at that moment, that's when what's her
Lovely
face?
comes in, right? Or no, she is lovely.
Lovely. She is lovely.
comes in.
Julie, the daughter. Like, I guess she's Julie's mother-in-law, like by
Yes.
or stepmother, I guess. And she's like,
"What's
"What are
going
you
on?"
doing?" She walks in like Lovely's laying there in the bed in like negligee, and like there's this like poor Ralph sitting there in his long johns.
She doesn't knock. Does she?
Nope, she doesn't knock. She walks in also wearing like lingerie, because man, wouldn't you know it? Ralph excuses himself to go take care of his rabbits, and the two and Lovely and Julie start wrestling because I have the actually the dialogue. She goes, she mentions, "Well, Rick and I are probably going to get married." This is what Julie says to Lovely, and Lovely goes, "You mean you balled him and you still want to get married?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, I had him too." And she's like, "What?" So we learned that like Rick has in the past balled.
Just start fighting.
And they just start wrestling, and it's so funny. And they're playing like the wah 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 music, and then like Lovely's boobs pop out. And the reason I was so surprised, Tim, is until this moment, given the cast, the look, everything, I thought this was a TV movie.
I did too. I thought this was a
And then all of a
TV
sudden
movie.
there was like boobs out. I'm like, oh.
And my significant other was in the other room and they played this music. She was like, is that old time sexy music? Like, no.
She kept running in, and you're like covering up the screen, like, no, don't look. That's why you're sleeping on the couch. Okay.
Yes.
So there, and in case you're a fan of fighting, this is like a poorly choreographed fight. It's just really slow and awkward with just emphasis on boobs popping out. And then the drunk Ruth walks in, and she's like,
She doesn't knock either.
nope, she doesn't walk in. She's also in negligee. And she's like, "What are you two up to?" And Julie's like, "We're just having a little fun."
And it was over.
And she's like, "Fun, sure, whatever turns you on." Then like she drinks an entire bottle of whiskey and vomits. Then we cut to Ralph. He's talking to rabbits. He's like, "Oh no, Papa Duke wants some chicken. And last time I cooked the chicken, I put in too many spices. But this time I only put in 2 spices."
I told it to take his pants off.
I liked Ralph.
I know.
And I will say also, I thought that the actor did a pretty good job with Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to look up who he was. He might have been in other things.
He didn't have a Wikipedia link, but I did look him up separately. He's a guy who acted like forever. He's in a bunch of shows you probably know that I didn't know.
Probably. He was probably
Yeah,
Oscar's son in The Odd Couple.
Yeah, it
One
was something
episode.
called The Extended Odd Couple Adventures. There's something else called Things Old Men Watch. There's something called Mr. Peace Theater. I don't know what that means.
Mr. Peace.
Yeah, Mr. Peace. All right, so all this stuff, we're just doing a lot of weird setup here. We still don't know how this movie's coming together, right? We do see something interesting. Back at that crashed we this one guy, an adult, kind of gets up, and he's like, "Oh."
Well, the kids
and
walked
he's
off,
like-
if we didn't make that clear.
Oh, we should have mentioned. The kids had walked off already. And this man wakes up. He's bleeding from the head and from the chest a little bit. And he's like, he keeps saying, I got to catch him. I got to stop him.
Yes.
As he's frantically searching for the kids.
I think we see do they show us now or later that he's got a tag? He's from a mental institution.
Yeah, that's the clue as to why they are. It
Yeah.
says State Mental Hospital Children's Acute Division.
But it never explained why, like, all these kids are terrible. I don't know.
I think
top.
it's just at this state hospital, like they're just really bad kids,
Okay.
so he's going to find them. The kids are aware they may be being tracked, and Leif Garrett keeps mentioning George, so I thought this guy was George.
I thought so too.
Yeah, but he's also in the credits. He's only listed as Dr. Brenner, Dr. Brown.
Good catch.
Yeah. So, and
some
the only
depth.
reason this is because I thought he was George, but then later, like, there's a scene towards the end where, like, after they definitely know this character is dead, Leif Garrett's like, we don't have to worry about George anymore or something. So
He does say
I
that.
think George is his alternate personality, and I think it was just done poorly. So the 4 kids break into the wine cellar at Papa Duke's chalet, and the doctor is catching up to him, and this starts what is the longest, slowest slow motion sequence I've ever seen in anything.
They really had to pad this film out. beat him with a sledgehammer,
a hammer, a chain, a pitchfork. But
this beating scene goes on longer than it takes Eric Trump to put on his human skin in the morning. That's my Eric Trump joke.
Da-da-da. It is. I don't think we're exaggerating to say it's probably about a minute of footage that has been slowed down to about 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
With sound intact, so it's like you just hear. Like it's like I literally probably could have gotten up, gone to use the bathroom, come back, and it would still been going on.
It was so long I read that Leif Garrett went through puberty while the scene was.
It was so long I read that Leif Garrett hit Autumn and he fell off the tree.
Yeah, hit Autumn.
Because his name was Leif.
Leif.
Your name after part of a plant, you stupid jerk. Sorry to all of our listeners who are named after parts of plants. I'm talking to you, Stem Williamson.
And Vine Daily.
And Pedal Poinsettia. So finally, after they finally snap out of the slowest slow-mo sequence I've ever seen in my life, the kids are all above this doctor. One of them goes, "Is he dead?" The quote-unquote corpse noticeably and obviously blinks. And the soldier boy kid goes, "I should hope so." And then they take his body and they take it out and bury it in the snow, which is when we see that he's a doctor with the Children's Healthy Acute Division.
Whew. Wow.
All this happens without anyone being aware of it because back in the house, Rick and Julie have a squabble because she's like, "Have you ever laid, lovely?" Mm-hmm. And then he's like, "Yeah, everybody did it."
It was the 60s, man. Just 4 years ago.
Then Rick and Julie fuck, and then we see another set of boobs. Kevin Cablasto, occasional co-host and aficionado of boobs.
More sexy music.
Yep. Harvey Boss Hogg Beckman and his drunk wife Ruth discuss his lack of promotion, and they don't fuck
because he wants to all weekend. He's like
and she keeps making excuses.
We got time now. She's like, well, I need a drink.
Yep, and she grabs an empty bottle. Goes, "You shouldn't litter."
She pretends.
And she says a term which I thought was. She says a line which I thought was so weird. I recorded it. She goes, "Harvey, in tennis, there's a term called following through, and you didn't." This gave me my list for this episode, Tim.
Oh, only one?
Because only one list this time. I tried to write a second, it failed. It failed so hard, Tim. I might read the one bit I got out because it failed so hard. This is what was interesting is this woman actually improv this line, but she was actually she was a big sports fan, so she did a lot of different lines, other ones for here. Okay. So here's some other lines you can find in alternate cuts of the movie, maybe under tantrums or people toys or whatever the fuck else it's called. All right. Number 1, in football, there's a term called getting sacked, and you were just about to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then she says, in baseball, there's a term called foul balls, and your balls smell. That's why she doesn't sleep with him. And then number 3, in pickleball, there's a term called shove an unlubed pickle right up your ass, you piece of shit. Probably. Who the hell knows? I don't play pickleball.
It wasn't invented yet, George.
It wasn't invented yet.
I'm here to be the joke police.
I almost had that part written in there, and I took it out. And then number 4, in Seddy BIMCO, there's a term called something something Zapruder film, something something Traveling Wilburys Volume 2, something something exhaust port.
Yeah.
That's my list.
That's my list. Oh.
So she goes off to refill her drink, and she walks into a room, and she pours herself a drink because then she sees the children have walked into the house. They're all clustered in the corner.
I know.
And she's like, "Buh, buh, 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 buh." She's like, "This little people."
She runs up. She goes, little people.
Because this woman is such a fucking colossal drunk. She doesn't understand the concept of children. Who is she? Cartoonist John Byrne?
Oh, no.
And Papa Duke is like, "Goddamn DTs, you drunk?" And they run upstairs and they find the kids sitting there. And the kids are like, the nuns like, "We were in a car crash. Everyone else is dead. And so Papa Duke calls in Lovely. He's like, take care of these kids. She's like, why me? He goes, you're a woman.
He's still a dick. He's like, yeah, kids, there's kids loose in the snow.
He is such an asshole.
He just
Like,
gets
that
his
guy's-
newspaper out.
Yep.
The soldier asks when Chow is, by the way.
Yep.
And
Oh,
pisses
yeah.
Papa Doc off.
Yeah, the soldier boy, the one little boy is like a soldier. He's like, you the CO? He goes, what? The commanding officer. He's like, and like Rick is like, yeah, he's the CO. When's chow time? He's like, I don't know. Ralph will make you guys some cereal. Raisin bran, he says.
Make you some rabbit
Kids-
stew. Ralph's like, what?
Oh, make him kill his pets. And then after the little kids leave, he's like, Papa Duke is like, what's wrong with those kids? And Rick's like, what, you never played soldier as a boy? And this is a recurring theme. He's always like, I never had a chance to play. He goes, no, I didn't have the time.
I was
And
killing
Rick goes,
people.
bullshit. You're still playing soldier. Then he salutes and walks out. And then Papa Duke's like, very funny, smart guy. Maybe you could get a job as a comedian.
And they go sled riding. I'm like, you just found kids lost in the snow, and Rick and Julie go sled riding.
Yeah, I'd get the hell away from those kids. Fucking dirty kids.
But don't you want to feed
I mean, yeah.
make their-
Well, to be fair, there is a scene right after this where they try to call for help,
but they
and
cut
the
the
phone
line.
lines are down. Which I don't think we actually see the kids cutting the line down, but we realize they cut the line down shortly.
Yeah. And Leaf Garrett likes to tell Harvey that they're going to be friends because he's like a little business kid. He talks to Boss Hogg in the bedroom. He talks very adult like you said.
We're cutting ahead that's the way his certain craziness is. He's very adult. But
Yeah.
we're cutting a little bit out here. Because now the
Look at
kids
this.
are all kind of like assimilating themselves around. They all attach to different groups.
Yeah.
Harvey is sitting there psyching himself out because, his attempt to get his job failed so spectacularly and his wife disrespected him. So he's in front of the mirror and he's psyching himself up doing workout. And he's like, I want $60,000 a year.
Oh, they have a weight room.
basically-
This house is nice. There's a weight room. There's
Yeah.
a pool room.
There is.
So he's lifting weights.
But Tim, before we get into the weights, can we?
Oh, I
can
thought
we
that's
do
what we were talking about.
current currency Kerner.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Tim, Harvey wants to ask for a salary of $60,000 a year. I set this since the movie was filmed in '73. I set it for '73. Do you want to guess what the equivalent of $60,000 a year in '73 would be to today?
60,000.
I will give you a clue. This was shockingly high for me.
2 million?
Not that high.
Oh.
$438,058.11.
Oh, yeah, that's not that high.
I mean, that's pretty. Like little Mr. Moneybags here.
60.
That's nothing.
60,000.
Yeah, 60,000
Back then.
is now 438,000.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what I make in a week. Yeah. This is when David tells, because David, the Leaf Garrett child, does seem to actually really like Harvey at first.
He does.
He's like, and he calls him by his full name each time. What is his name? Harvey Broadbent.
Broadbenter.
Harvey Beckman. He like, he's talking to him and he's like, he goes, he tells him they were making a film in Hollywood when their van crashed. By the way, this was the list that didn't work. And
List of films they're making?
yeah, man, it sucked.
Apple Dumpling Gang? Little rascals?
No, because I did Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears.
This sucks. But he's like, Harvey Beckman, you and I are gonna be friends. And he's doing all weird stuff like there's some clothes in the bed. He's like, green's a lovely color. Don't you think it goes with my eyes? And we see Susan. She's lighting all the candles with a giant Bic.
That's right.
And like Julie's like, well, that's probably concerning. We see Mo riding horsey on Ralph. Ralph is the caretaker.
They
Leaf
eat.
Garrett goes to Papa Duke. He's like, your Beamer is in excellent condition. He's like, I know it is. Keep away from my car. And then my favorite of all the ones, the nun goes to Rick, the 70s looking fuck. She goes, I was noticing your hair. It's very healthy. Wasn't that odd?
It was odd. It was more.
Not to be a dick either, because look, guys, I'm an old man. My hair is getting thinner than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But Rick's pretty heavy into the stage of male pattern baldness.
Maybe it was a
Like, there's
dig.
not- I don't know, maybe.
Because then they talk about geriatrics. I was confused. And they look at the girl who's a nun, and he says, sorry, sister. Like, sorry.
Once we start talking work, yeah, we can't stop.
But geriatrics. I was like,
That's old people.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
I had to look
And
it
that's when
up.
she-
I thought, did I have a brain fart? Is he talking about
Yeah,
Something else?
It's weird. And then that's the line where Lovely mentions to the nun, she says, "You look very young for a sister." She goes, "Well, I'm a novice."
Yep.
And all the kids like, novice means she's new, stupid. And she's like, the kids get very rambunctious when they're away from school for too long. But I rubbed my chin and said, Tim.
Yes.
That's what I said. I said,
What were you thinking?
maybe she's not really a nun.
I already
That's
thought
what I was
that.
thinking. Yeah, well.
I think they're making a how It's
Yeah.
called
Well,
The Dirty
that's-
Dozen, but the director couldn't count. It's like, this isn't going to
or-
work with 5 kids.
Tim, how about the Dirty Dozen and like 7 of the kids died in the car?
Yes.
Oh, yuck.
I'm doing your list.
Oh, this is my list. Oh, I could have done that. That
You've
would have been a route I
inspired
could have taken. Ooh, let's see what else you got.
That's all I have. Come on.
Oh,
The Dirty
that was a
Dozen.
list.
How many?
It's not a list. This is a list. It is funny you
It's going to
mentioned
be
the movie,
called
though,
The
because
Fantastic
that's...
Four, but this other kid showed up. Ruined the whole thing.
That's the whole title. The Fantastic Four, but this other kid showed up, ruined the whole thing. It's funny you mentioned movies, because Harv then mentions the movie, and all the kids like, what? You listen to him? He's a dirty, stupid liar. And they're like, stupid kid, stupid idiot. He
Yeah.
lies. He lies big. And Harv's like,
That's right.
Okay. And then there's a bit where somehow it comes up about the job that Papa Duke wants to offer to Rick. And Rick's like, he's like, well, tomorrow we're going to work in this. He's like, tomorrow I'm going skiing. He's like, you do that, that's the end. Rick goes, the end of what? He goes, you know what? He goes, then I'll quit. And he goes, yeah? How much money you got? And then in the worst bit of like foreshadowing and way to distract some kids, Rick goes, hey kids, you see those guns yet? And all the kids look at these guns on the wall. And when they turn, he goes, kiss my ass to Papa
Because those
Duke.
kids didn't hear that.
They didn't hear that. Also, like, oh, hey, look at all those implements of destruction we could use. Although, to be fair, they don't know that the kids are slow motion murderers yet.
No. It's not a Chekhov's gun in this movie. It's Chekhov's piranha. They're sitting in a big tank.
Which we actually haven't even met the piranhas yet.
Nope. First, Ralph is doing the dishes.
With the nun.
And the nun, they suggest, the nun wants to help him. And he's like, oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about doing dishes with the nun.
Yeah.
I was really curious about that. You know why he was nervous?
Why, too?
Because he's unsure about hanging out with the lady of the cloth. He'd rather be hanging out with a lady of the washcloth.
Oh, we should have said dishcloth.
Washcloth.
Washcloth, all right.
He prefers his ladies like his dishes dirty.
Oh, wait. I thought you were going to say.
The last time he was told he would be doing dishes with a nun, she turned out to be a penguin, and he's terrified of penguins.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, what a weird life he's lived.
Likes rabbits, not penguins.
So it's a cute scene. It seems like they're setting up something with him where the nun's being very interested in him.
Yeah.
And she's like, but she's also maybe asking questions to see how secluded they are. He's like, well, I'm here mostly by myself. And she goes, that must be very lonely. He's like, I don't really care. Even when there's people around, nobody talks to me on account of my head being funny. I'm like, oh, poor Ralph.
Except when they
And
want
while
me to
that's
take my
going on-
pants off.
And they do weird games with my pants off. And then the little soldier boy walks in, and he's like, hey, you look like you could be a good paratrooper. Don't you think you'd make a good trooper to, like, the nun? And she suddenly screams, no! And, like, shatters a dish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so wanting to be a paratrooper is somehow kid slang for I'm going to murder him?
I know. That's why, we don't find out anything about why these kids are
So,
upset.
and while they were having this talk, we were watching Soldier Boy and Leif Garrett in Ralph's cabin doing something to sabotage the generator.
And I thought we were going to have to see them slaughter rabbits. So I was glad I didn't have to see that. I thought for sure.
I think it's very odd that the rabbits as a theme get completely dropped.
Yep.
And I think there's absolutely no way there isn't a Divergence movie where the rabbits aren't killed. I'm being serious.
Yeah, probably.
Like, there's almost certainly a version where we see that. And I think, like, the filmmakers are like, you know what?
That's what the fight was about.
Killing a house full of people is fine. But once you kill some bunnies, nobody likes that. It's like when you kill a dog. Nobody wants to see a movie where you kill a dog.
That's when that guy punched him and threw him through the plate glass window. They were fighting about the rabbit death scene.
Like, I'm telling you, that's the crux of the movie. Shut up, you go through the window now. Smash. I missed a few of these, but London Bridge plays again at this point, but now it's subtitled as eerie music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what
So-
it was at the beginning?
No, it was suspenseful
Suspenseful
music.
music.
Yeah, it's different each time.
And this
Dramatic
house,
music.
the decoration, it's red. It's terrible. Terrible.
It's very 70s. It has red shag carpet in multiple rooms. It's people walk around barefoot on it, like gross. Just why not just put your feet in raw sewage?
And
You
the big
fucking
tank
dirty pigs.
with the piranha. And the little tank with goldfish.
Which we're coming up to that scene. Really quick, before that happens, though, Ralph, the generator predictably goes out, and Papa Duke's like, Ralph, go fix the generator. He runs out there and he sees it's still on, but there's a switch off. So he runs out and he's like, who would do this to the generator? Why would someone want to do this? And he fixes it, and somehow like a noose flies over his throat and drags him up. Like as soon as he turns on, it's like a mechanized trap, and strangles poor Ralph.
Yep. No reason. Poor Ralph.
Just occurred to me the fact that he gets hoisted up in the air is somehow that's how he's a paratrooper, isn't it?
Excuse me. You're right.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, it's really that's a lot to convey and for her to pick up on that.
Yes.
Like unless this is a habit he does, like I'm my modus operandi. I am a famous child murderer, and of course what I do is I sneak into remote houses, disable the generator, then wait until the handyman comes to assemble the generator, and then I use a makeshift parachute to hang him. You know me, I've done this 20 times.
Yes.
Yep. While that's happening, Rick and Julie have another one of their annoying fights, but their
won't
fights,
have
that's
sex.
their whole thing. Yeah. No, Rick and Julie do have sex.
Oh, sorry.
They're always having sex. It's Harv and Ruth who don't. Rick and Julie go down to the basement and drink a $100 bottle of wine.
That's right.
Tim.
Oh, how much is that worth now?
Play the music.
George's currency.
It's been, because we did so long doing like the international travels, we really fell out. George's currency Kerner just disappeared. So Tim, a $100 bottle of wine in 1973, what would be the asking price of that nowadays?
Is it French? It's got lots of tariffs on it.
That's a good question. Let's assume it's domestic, because I don't feel like Papa Duke is the sort of guy who
Buys French wine.
foreign. Yeah.
It's probably $300.
Good guess, but completely wrong. It's $725.10.
Did you see behind them there was a giant Michelob bottle, like some sort of stupid?
I thought that was so funny. Like the set dresser, like, okay, this is a man of great wealth and taste. He has multiple $100 bottles of wine down here. Like, all right, so got it. Like 6 foot tall neon Michelob bottle. I don't think you're listening to me.
That's what they thought about.
The two of them are down there, and they're talking about, like, Julie's first. She's like, don't you think the kids are a little weird? Like, like that one girl was like lighting fires and stuff and things. And he's like, and at first he's jokey about it, but eventually he's like, you're right. Those kids are really fucking weird. She's like, maybe, I don't know if they're an accident. I think maybe they're murderers or something. Lovely comes down and joins them, and she's kind of listening, but nobody's really on board with it yet. And then upstairs, we see Harv, who is seeming to be very close to David, the Leif Garrett character. They're playing chess, and like Leif Garrett character, very smart. He thinks he is. He's smarter than he thinks he's smarter than he is. And he like takes out his queen. Well, Harv makes a move. David takes out his queen. He's like, I knew you were going to do that. And he goes, well, I knew I was going to do this. And he places Dave in checkmate.
Yes.
And like you just see this pretty good acting job, honestly.
Yeah.
And he just like flips over the table, and he's like,
he's a dick to that poor kid. He likes him.
He's a bit of a dick to the kid, because that kid needs someone to be a dick to him. But then the problem is, you can see, because Harv beats him in chess, I honestly think David liked him until that point, and then he's like, well, you're going to have to die now.
Yes.
And this is when we get to the piranhas. Mo, the kid who has no real easily definable personality trait. No. She's like, why do these fish got big teeth? And Papa Doc's like, yeah, they're called piranhas. He says piranhas, which bugs me. And he's like, yeah, they eat other fish. They can skeletonize a man in seconds. And Lovely's like, that's a nice bedtime story, hon. And she's like, what do you feed him? He goes, see those little fish there? She goes, you feed, and this goldfish, you feed those babies to them? He's like, yeah, you want to see a little girl? And she starts crying. I'm like, wow, this guy is a bad dad.
He is.
Yeah.
I don't think he was a dad.
Yeah, he was Julie's dad. And then Ruth brings the little pyro girl upstairs into bed with them so she could ultimately cockblock Harv.
Falls in love with that little girl.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's like, but like that's the thing. All the kids have, like, Harv bonds with David. She bonds with Susan, the pyro girl. I guess Mo kind of bonds with Lovely.
It's weird, though. If I found kids in the woods one day, I wouldn't be like, hey, I bond with you. Let's go.
I don't know
sleep
why
in
you're
my
talking
bed.
about this as a hypothetical. I think you find kids a lot, and then those kids you just
They
kind
just
of
disappear.
disappear. Well, that's dark. Let's cut that out.
You just get out the sleeping bags and they just sleep on the floor next to the piranha. That's where they go.
Harv's like, honey, I was hoping we'd, it's been so many months.
Yes.
I was hoping we could have, and she's like, Harvey, I have a headache, a toothache, a backache, and I'm expecting the gout. True line, everybody. It's not me trying to be funny. That's an actual line.
And I'm all out of alcohol.
And then she drinks just wood grain.
Too sober to make love
Then
with you.
Lovely tries to seduce Rick. As he's getting out of the shower, she pulls his towel off.
Yeah, the woman who had slept with him previously.
Yeah,
It's a long scene where she's just like, he's like, no.
And he says to her, like, you're getting somewhere, but I'm getting nowhere. And she, like, pulls his towel off so he's naked. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, let's do this. And he picks her up to the bedroom, throws her on there, and he walks out.
Yep.
I'm like, way to go, Rick. Because, I mean, this was the 70s. I figured he was going to bang her.
Yep. He's like, the
But he doesn't.
60s are over.
Yep. He's
That's what
like,
he said.
I have sores all over my penis. Just oozing pustules.
Don't mention Woodstock.
Don't mention Woodstock. Those dirty, dirty hippies. Their crabs had crabs.
Is this when we go outside to chop wood?
The next morning, Rick goes out because he's like, hey, Ralph, the generator's off. It's cold. Ralph, the generator's off. And he goes inside the house,
That's right.
Ralph's little shack, and he finds Ralph hanging. He's like, oh. And he runs and gets Papa Duke. And they're like, oh. And Papa Duke's like, how did he hang himself like this? Why would he do that?
Yeah.
And Rick's like, are you sure he did it? And Papa Duke's like, what do you mean? And they're like,
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't leave all his rabbits alone.
He wouldn't leave his rabbits, who he probably got murdered in a scene that got cut from the movie. And so like they agree to tell like everyone else that it was just an accident. But then they're gradually, I honestly thought this stuff was kind of realistic. Like, the amount of incredulity they display that they're being murdered by kids is, I think, at about just the right level.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of buying it, but at the same time, they need to really see it. You know, they're like, well... And stuff starts going weird. Like, they discover... Like, Rick is very much on the kids are murderer train. But everyone else is kind of like, are you sure? And they told everyone. They have like, these little moments. And, like, some of them laugh. Some of them are like, Like, Harvey seems to kind of maybe believe it. Ruth is drunk. While they're discussing, all the different adults saying, like, I think it might be the kids, we do have a kind of weird shot that's not really fully explained of David dressing up as a woman, putting on makeup, and he overhears them discussing that it might be the kids.
I totally missed this. I must have been writing something.
It's very odd. It plays off only once, a little bit at the end. And that's what makes me think that there's maybe the George and the David side. I don't know. Maybe George is actually a woman.
Wow.
So they start noticing stuff like Papa Duke's car has been tampered with.
Mm-hmm.
It's the starter has been removed. They're like, what? And then like Rick's going around. He's like, hey, look, the guns are gone. The ones I pointed out to the kids. And he goes into the kitchen and pulls open the drawers. He's like, how do you put butter on with your spoon? All the knives are gone. And
All
they're
the
like,
butter
this
knives are
isn't
gone.
funny. So at this point, I think they're all getting kind of worried. But Harvey, under stress, he gets a drink. He actually finally gets his backbone. Like Ruth's being typically dismissive of him. He's like, Ruth, pour me a drink. And she's like, what? And she does. And she's like, oh, who's this newfound man? And he storms into the job where he storms into the room where Papa Duke and Rick are talking. And Papa Duke's like, go cut some wood. We need wood for the fire. And he's like, you know what? I want a new job. I want that job. I want a raise twice as much as I was making. So I guess he was making $30,000 before. And I'm going to cut that wood just because I damn well feel like it. And he storms out.
And he's
he's out
addicted to
there
David because David's helping him, and he's just like,
But David comes
you're
out
not
to
doing
help
it very
him, and
good.
he's like, you're a weak little sissy boy. And just every time he swings his axe, he's like, I should go get Mo, the other boy, the soldier boy, because you're a weak little shithead.
No, Mo's the
just
little girl.
keeps egging him on. Oh, you're right, Mo is the girl. Just being a real asshole to him.
That guy that hung himself, he'd be much better at this.
So after like 6 tries, he finally splits one log, and Harvey's like, "Oh, good job. I guess we don't need to get the other team to help you out." And he leans over to the wood, and then wouldn't you know it, man?
Of course.
Thwickety thwack right in the back of the head. He kills Harvey.
Yep.
Yep.
What do they do?
Funny
with Harvey?
freeze frame on Arthur's face.
Do they come find Harvey?
He runs and tells Papa Duke and Rick and everybody, like, I don't know. I think that George did it. He threw an axe at him.
George again.
Yeah, but and that time you're like, okay, George could be the doctor, but like later on he says about George again, so I don't know. So he actually says that there's another adult from the crash that killed him, and like you can see some of the adults immediately believe that, even maybe Rick, because that does seem more likely than a kid kills this full-grown adult. Yeah.
This is when Ruth runs to take another bath after another murder. I'm like, what is up
Not
with you,
Ruth.
It's not Ruth?
No, that's Lovely.
Lovely takes a bath.
They play the London Bridge again. This time it's dramatic music.
I tried to make a list. Why would Ruth take a bath after murder? I failed.
Why would Lovely take a bath? All right, let's hear it.
out.
Oh, you didn't have it?
Nope.
Okay. All right, so Lovely, they're all talking what to do, like make a break for it. They're trapped in there, but they're pretty sure at this point the kids are going to murder them. The guns are missing, the knives are missing. They don't know where the kids are.
They're afraid of kids.
People are turning up. Yeah. And Lovely's like, you all just keep arguing with yourself. I'm going to take a bath. And she goes and takes a bath. Kevin Cablasto, boobs.
I don't think you see anything.
Yeah, you do.
The suds. I guess. Maybe you saw a different version.
I was looking. And then the nun comes in and holds her head underwater.
That's right.
And she's drowning very slowly. And then Mo comes in with the piranha and drops the piranha in. And the piranha start biting her. We know they really did bite her at least once.
How'd she get those piranha out of that tank into a bucket? That's what I want.
That's an excellent question. I mean, there wasn't enough room in that tank for the piranha. I thought it was very small.
It was.
But I want to point something out. Mo is the real-life daughter of the actor that played Lovely.
Yep.
So Mo went into, like, the real child actor went into a room where another actor was pretending to drown her mom, who was thrashing about naked in a bathtub, and then she threw a piranha on her mom, and the piranha really bit her.
Oosh. Ouch.
Do we think this is like is this Sleepaway Camp 4? What's that kid doing now? So Lovely dies. London Bridge plays again. This time it's dramatic music. They decide they're going to make a break for it, and Julie goes upstairs to tell everybody, and she starts screaming, and Papa Doc is like, Lovely! And he runs up the stairs. Just in time, they just see the bathtub. It's full of blood, and the blood goes to the window. They look out the window, and they see the 4 kids dragging the nude body of Lovely through the snow.
I hope it was a dummy.
Even if it was, first of all, it looks really good as a dummy. I'm like, wow, these little kids, the shit they're seeing in this thing. And they're like, Papa Duke, don't go crazy. He shoves Rick, and the subtitle, I wrote it down. Rick falls down the stairs, and it says, Rick Thuds. That was literally the subtitle, Rick Thuds.
They're going to the little shack where
they go to Ralph's cabin.
Ralph's cabin.
Yeah.
Which, you see, they're reading comics. Lois Lane comics. Did you notice it?
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Boring.
I didn't catch
comics.
Yeah, we had a lot of those in my house growing up. My mom read Lois Lane comics.
I don't know what were they about? Did you read one?
There's that really famous one where Lois Lane, it's like a really misguided one during the 60s or 70s where Lois Lane becomes black.
Oh, yes. I know that's a famous one.
Yes, it's a rough one.
I thought you were going to say she got rescued by Superman.
She gets rescued by Superman a lot. Sometimes she rescues Superman.
Ooh.
There were backup stories featuring Lucy Lane, her sister.
Lane.
Yep. Yeah,
Did Lucy Lane have a sidekick?
Yeah. Wasn't
Linda
Streaky
Lane?
the Super Cat part of her? Am I wrong about that?
I don't know.
All this is crap. So, yeah, Papa Duke chases them to the cabin. He's like losing it. He's like, I want to kill you little bastards. Kill you little bastards. And he's grabbing he has no real weapons anymore, so he just has a log. And he busts into the room, and they are like fucking Ewoks.
They have Home Alone to the place.
Even better, Home Alone, yeah. They make like a swing with knives on it, and like in slow motion, the soldier boy comes out and goes, yeehaw! And it like flies into Papa Duke, stabs him, flings him across the room through a wall. And that's the end of him. So now we're just down to, it's just Ruth, who was having a sad moment because she realized like last thing she'd done was mean to her husband. And Rick and Julie, and they're going to run for it. But now the kids come out with guns and they fire. They scare Rick and Julie back in the house, but Ruth's still outside, just sitting there.
Julie run to a boat, and I'm like, it's snowing out. Why are you going to a boat? It was a lake. Did you notice they ran to a boat?
Yeah.
Why? At the beginning of the movie, they said something about a gunboat, and I'm like, why are they talking about a gunboat?
Oh, the gunboat was actually a term for his car.
Oh.
He said, I had to get it full of antifreeze and tires. Like, he was just speaking metaphorically. It wasn't a real gunboat.
I thought he was talking about his pants, George. Come on.
It's like, I need snow chains for my pants because I have big balls.
But still.
You're skipping what happens to Ruth, though.
No, I thought we were getting to it.
Before they get to the boat, Ruth is outside, and Susan, the pyromaniac's like, you don't even love me anymore. She's like, what? I do love you. And they drop gasoline on from above.
Yeah.
And they Pyro Girl throws her bic on her, and she burns to death.
Pretty graphic.
Yeah, it goes on for, like all the action scenes here, goes on way too long. It's like, you could cut this. The London Bridge theme plays. Fiery music.
Fiery music, is that what it said?
Yeah,
You're
it really
me.
does. It's so stupid. And then, so the only two ones left are
Rick and Julie.
whatchamacallit, Rick and Julie, who they run to the boat, they get shot up by the people, then they run back to the house. The kids come.
They lock themselves in, and they, like, fall asleep.
Yep.
They turn the doorknob, and he looks at it like, ooh, those little kids are there.
Yeah, and you hear when the kids say, is the door locked? And the soldier boy's like, affirmative. And he's like, okay. But they have all the furniture up against there, and Julie's asleep on the bed. And while that's happening, because I guess he's just a complete Nimrod, she's all upset about her dad and stuff. Leif Garrett? Yeah.
It's the morning,
He
though.
climbs up
They stay
outside
there
the
all
house.
night.
It's the morning. He climbs up outside with a ladder and takes like a knife on a stick and stabs her through the window right in the throat and fucking kills her. I'm like, what? Because I thought for sure they were going to live, right?
Yes, I did
And Rick's
too.
like, you little bastards, I'll kill you. And he's like shaking his hands out the window. And I guess he grabs like the stick and shoves Leif Garrett, who falls on the floor. He's like, my face, my beautiful face. Mm-hmm. I didn't see any damage to his face.
No.
So while he's waiting to see what to do, the nun is sitting out there with a gun on her lap. And the kids have taken the corpse of Papa Duke, tied him to a tree, and are making him into a snowman. They're dancing around him and like throwing snowballs at him and packing snow on him.
Take that, Papa Dick.
Yep. And then Rick's finally like, I'm going to make a break for it because I see the skis are out there.
Well, he sees a gun, too. He's going to sneak to the gun.
Oh, he's got the gun and the skis. And he goes out and he sneaks down the porch because the kids are too busy desecrating the corpse of Papa Duke. And then he steps on a bear trap. And then he steps on a second bear trap. Then he falls down. His arm goes in a bear trap.
His head's in a bear trap.
Then he falls into a bunch of mouse traps. And then there's some sticky glue on the floor.
Oh, no, my gunboat.
Yeah. And his pants split. And he's like, how embarrassing. So he's all caught there. And he's like, ah.
The nun slits his throat.
Yeah, and tell me, so he's laying there like on all fours, not able to move because he's stuck in multiple things, and the kids are all dancing around going, stupid jerk, and the nun comes up, she's no longer wearing her habit, she has blonde hair, we see. Mm-hmm. I thought she was going to cut his hair off.
Oh, yeah.
Because she pulls his head back, but then she cuts his throat. The kid's like, you're dead now, you stupid jerk. She cries, the nun, again, one of those things like Tim was pointing out, there's like a lot of weird unexplained psychoses.
Yeah.
You killed it. What did he kill?
Yeah, it was confusing.
Weird. Yeah, weird. There's something going on there. So now all the adults are dead, and the kids drag their corpses into Ralph's cabin and sit them around a table, playing with them as though they are dolls.
Yeah, creepiest part, I guess.
Yeah, they're all these corpses. Like, you got Rick in the corner with, like, they're all, like, like, the one, Ruth is, like, this blackened corpse.
They put a dress on her.
Sitting at the table. They put a dress on her. And after a while, a couple of the kids are, like, they want to, like, this is getting boring. We should go. And Mo's like, I don't want to go. It's freezing out. And Sister Hannah says, well, we'll find new toys to play with. But this is the part that's interesting, Tim. Mm-hmm. They didn't call her Sister Hannah at this point.
That's right.
She's no longer dressed up as a nun. They actually call her Julie. Huh. And I double-checked this. I went back and rewatched it a couple, like, to see. Because I'm like, wait, Julie's the name of the other teacher, the woman.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's stealing Julie's identity.
Oh, maybe they have stolen people's identities.
Yeah, because then the way this thing ends, it's the film ends with the words, the beginning.
Yep.
The end, or the beginning.
It couldn't end any other way because it would be too dark for these adults to murder these children to survive.
Man.
Right?
I don't know. It would have been a pretty satisfying movie if the meathead prototype Rick just went out through this club and just brained a few of these kids.
Now we have the part of the show where Tim and George talk about how this movie is like Star Wars and Labyrinth.
How's it like Star Wars?
All right.
I guess.
Okay.
You know, Rick, he was no longer interested in having sex with his ex-girlfriend at the cabin. We talked about him.
Yep. Yep.
She was always after him.
Rick Thuds.
Yep. Rick Thuds.
Yep.
You know why he didn't want to have sex with her anymore? He found out
Uh-huh.
she was his sister.
Ah! Once again, not Star Wars, Tim. Return of the Jedi.
Steroids.
And to counter
Just wanna
Tim's
punch things.
incessant mention of a movie he apparently has never actually seen, I like to counter with references to how this is like Jim Henson's fantasy masterpiece, Labyrinth. Labyrinth is filled with delightful Muppets. This movie is filled with frightful Moppets.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Moppets.
Moppets. That's a term for
Was
kids,
that the
right?
movie,
Now,
movie they were going to make?
hold on.
The
Now you have
Marvelous
me worried.
Moppet.
Is Moppets not a word?
It's a word. It's from the Depression. It's something I would know. Those little Moppets.
I've been hanging out with you too long. When you were a kid, yep, Moppets, a small, endearingly sweet child.
Yeah, it must have been The Exorcist.
Yep.
They must have said, let's make a bunch of little evil kids.
Well, except for the thing is that this movie must have already been in. If Exorcist came out, let me go back to that list. Exorcist came out in June '74. This came out
Yeah.
earlier in '74. So this actually beat. Oh, you know what? The Sting came out in '74. The Poseidon Adventure. Herbie Rides Again.
Oh, they had kids, right?
Yeah, Chinatown. Chinatown came out.
All the kids in Chinatown. I like that one.
Airport 75, Death Wish,
There was a kid in the airport. He needed to have his blood transfusion, right?
Papillon, The Sting. You said no movies came out in 74. All those movies came out. You're full of crack.
In airport, wasn't there a kid who needed blood? He was on the airplane.
Yeah, and they threw him out the window.
No, they said we're only going to take a few cubic quarts.
Take two cubic
They
quarts.
kept falling over in the airplane.
There's that scene where they show him in the background. He's like dried paper.
Wherever you are, wherever you're hiding, I'll find you. I'll get you. I'll get you.
Revenge.
I'll get you. Because we're going to do it every other week, maybe production values will go up and we'll have some sound effects in these stories. And these will be amazing stories that people will...
Wow, Tim, you're making yourself a lot of trouble.
a lot of
with
work.
this.
Let's do sequels. Revenge sequels.
Okay.
You want me to go first,
All
George?
right, I'm gonna go first if that's
Go ahead.
okay. All right,
You're gonna beat me
so,
to it.
I was actually super excited that this one ended with the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's clever, because this does seem like it's rife to be picked up on. And I looked, and there is no sequel to this. So I was, why is that a course not?
These kids, I don't know. They grew up.
Well, that's the problem. So that is a problem with this. Like, when you have, we've all seen this recently with, Stranger Things. Kids noticeably age between movies quicker. So there was, in my sequel, they do a sequel. One of the things they realized pretty early on, as these kids get older, you got to keep adding new kids to keep the younger ones. They call it the Cousin Oliver effect, right?
Are we starting the music?
So, yeah. this music's just been playing for like a minute.
Okay.
So the kids go on a run. Now she is now Julie, the whatchamacallit, the nun, and it's Julie, Mo, Susan, Ben, David. Then they kind of have a few minor adventures on the way where they destroy other families.
Why are they farting
and they
so
pick.
much?
So they stop by a bean factory and they kill an entire family. They get like a kid, Lawrence, from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He joins their gang. They're kind of like Lawrence is younger and cuter. They find a kid who's like kind of tragically bald. They cruelly name him Curly.
My name is Curly.
And finally, they get to Sacramento,
Did
California.
they get a heavy-set kid and call him Tiny?
No, they could have though. That's for the next sequel too. And there's a tall kid. They call him Shorty.
Hey, my name's
There's a
Shorty.
kid with no arms. They call him Lefty. Yeah.
Oh, I have no
But
arms.
so far now, just like they get Lawrence and Curly and then Tommy Jr., who's played by Willie Ames. They meet him in Sacramento. He takes them to meet his dad, Tom Braden. Tom Braden is a newspaper columnist for the Sacramento Register. And he had shot to fame this guy. The reason they went to Sacramento
Is this a busy
this
city?
guy,
Get your papers here.
Sacramento, California,
I
is
hear
the
all
capital.
the horns honking.
Oh yeah, it's pretty busy. Yeah, there's a bit of a traffic problem, Yeah. The road planning needs to be better there, the city planning. Tom Braden shot to fame, though, covering what has come to be known as the Papa Duke Snow murders.
Oh, nice.
So they actually make this. This is their thing. Their revenge is they're going to, like, this guy didn't get the story right. Turns out they all blamed Lovely for it because she was naked.
Oh.
And they're like, that's bad and sinful. But they're like, we're going to show this guy really. So they befriend his son, played by Willie Ames, and then they all get adopted.
You want to tell us who Willie Ames is? Is he the famous baseball player?
No, Willie Ames is he's the actor.
Okay. From what?
You don't know him?
Was he one
Eight
of the
is
sons
Enough?
in? Not in the Odd Couple.
He was in 8 is Enough,
Okay.
and he was in Zapped.
Are you sure 8 is enough? How about 9?
And the Zapped is the important part because, did I mention that his dad, Tom Braden, is played by, what's that guy's fucking name?
Mr. Does he have no legs? So they call him
They call him Mr. Nobbles.
Mr.
Because he's got...
No, Mr. Tap
No,
Dancer.
I'll tell you, Mr. Dick Van Patten,
Oh,
noted
Mr. Dick Van
pervert. Dick Van Patten adopts all 8 kids, right?
Yes.
And they're going to kill him. And he's even got Willie Ames, his son, Tom Jr., on their side. But Tom realizes he's got to stop it. He's got to save his kids, but it's too late. These kids, they got piranhas.
Oh, it's a mess in there.
They got it's a real mess.
They're farting again. What's going on?
They're farting a lot. It's just it smells like a sewer. But luckily, Willie Ames, his best friend, is honor student Barney Stringborough.
Who is this now?
He's played by Scott Baio. And he's just recently had an experiment that went awry and gave him telekinetic powers. He's able to use his telekinetic powers to zap these kids, saving the life of Dick Van Patten and burning down the gym while the kids are in Carrie style.
Oh, nice. Fire. I hear
Yeah, it ends in fire. Now, however, this is the beginning, so the kids probably survive into the sequel. Dick Van Patten, he does get a head injury as a result of this.
You call him Dick Van Patten?
I did. Dick Van Patten. And he goes off to join the cast of Beware the Blob. Go listen to that old episode.
Is that the end?
Yep, that's the end.
Ends in
Everybody
fire?
dies. Ends in
And
fire.
screams?
Death. Screams.
Okay.
And like one kid lets off a low, slow fart that ends in a gurgle. Like a real pwee and blah. All right.
The end. So let me cross out the part of my story that features 8 is enough.
No, you didn't do 8 is enough, did you?
Almost. So my sequel. You know what? My sequel starts off pretty quick. We go back to that van.
It starts off in it sounds like it starts off in a pet store.
Yeah.
I hear parrots.
That's the radio in the van.
I hear gooses. I hear llamas.
It's the radio in the van, George.
The pet store is in a van? It's a mobile pet store?
Yes, on the radio.
Wow!
Pet sounds.
These new production values are so good.
So we go back to that van that wrecked in the snow with the kids in it.
That one. Oh my God,
And you hear
you're
the
still
pet
there?
sounds. Well, we didn't know.
Is this Pet Sounds the Beach Boys album or
Yes.
actually just Pet Sounds?
It is, but I can't play that. I can't afford it. We get sued. But crawling out of that van, it's Charlie. It's a little young girl, young Jodie Foster, playing Charlie Sterling, young FBI agent.
Not Clarice Starling, as she's
Charlie.
actually known.
Charlie.
She's Charlie Starling. The question being, does Tim realize that? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine.
She wakes up in the hospital a few days later. Beep. She learns that the Devil's Five, as she calls them, has killed those poor excuses for women. And she runs off to get them before her bosses at the FBI.
Excuses for women?
Those poor excuses for people. The kids have killed them.
Sounds
So-
like you had some secret misogyny coming.
I did. It came out.
Tim, do you hear the sound effects of women crying?
Yes, I hear that.
And men laughing? Tim, why are you doing these sound effects?
Women crying. So she runs off before her boss could catch up with her. She tracks those kids down where they thought they headed. They went to 1222 Dilling Street in Studio City, Los Angeles, where she heard a bunch of kids were hanging out. In fact, 6 kids. A lovely lady had 3, and this guy had 3 of his own. It was a big bunch of kids, if you know what I mean. It just happens.
1222 Dilling Street?
Yeah. Studio City.
Wow.
So they let her in. They're like, "What are you doing? You little kid running around on the streets. Lay down, have some hot chocolate."
Always Marsha.
And she lays down and has some hot
Sure,
chocolate. And
dear.
this just happened to be the week that the older Brady boys stole the Lamb mascot from the rival football team over in Shelbyville. Every city has a
these lambs
Shelbyville.
back and explain what you did.
And it was in the backyard, and the lamb was bleeping and
Bleeping?
buying. And
Not bleeding, bleeping.
isn't it bleeping?
It's bleeding, isn't it?
Bleeding and buying. You hear it?
Yeah.
And little Agent Starling was tired and
Can you give us a few bleep sound effects too? Like beep boop boop.
no, it's called Bah. And she's like trying to sleep, and she's like, "Oh, those damn lambs! They won't be quiet. Can't you silence those lambs?"
I'm
she
outta
couldn't
here.
take it, so she runs off. She heads to New York City, where she heard there's this wealthy man. He was born. He's a man of means. He's got these kids. He doesn't know how many.
But they got nothing but their genes.
They got nothing but their genes.
But their genes are damaged due to prolonged exposure to radiation.
Turns out it's just two African American kids and their white sister, and some other friends are there.
What you talking?
And they're collecting pins, George, the kind of pins that kids put on their jackets of their favorite bands. They got the Eagles and I Love Fleetwood Mac, and they're rusty pins. And the kids are cleaning them. They're saying, "You need to put some lotion on the pins or else it gets holes again." And she's like, "This isn't who I was looking for." So she goes down to Queens. There's a street that she's asking how to get to, and people tell her how to get there. There's lots of kids there. They're counting to 5. They're talking about the letter D, which means devil.
This episode is brought to you by the letter E.
But she was sure this was her sunny day, sweeping the clouds
1, 2,
away.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Isn't
7, 8.
Sesame Street in Brooklyn?
I think it's in Queens.
I thought it was supposed to be out in Brooklyn.
Don't you hear that traffic? That's Queens traffic.
Hey, Mr. Hooper.
But this was also a false flag, as her FBI bosses caught up with her. Said we've lost them. They've integrated themselves into society, and they've adopted new names like they did at the end of the movie. But they've got names like Little Stevie Bannon, Little Stephen Miller, Little Kathy Levitt. It'll take years to find them. I don't know what's going to happen to them. And
I guess Kathy eventually decides to change her name to Carolyn at some point.
yeah, Little Kathy Levitt, and it has ominous music, London Bridge music at the end, and it says ominous music. It's called The Little Phantom Menaces. There.
Nice. Well, did we have any mail, Tim?
Oh. My computer works faster. I can open this up. Did you write a letter? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I don't think so.
Nope. We just got people sending us movie information about
Folks,
the new
maybe
movies.
if you fucking wrote us mail, we wouldn't be going to bi-weekly. What do you think of that?
Seddy BIMCO with a E at the end. Gmail.com.
Gmail.com. Write to us. Tell us you're going to miss us. Maybe we'll come back and do more. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll fade into the abyss and you'll never hear from us again.
No, it's going to hype up the value that you're going to get every other week.
It's going to be more bang for your non-existent. You don't. This already comes to you. This is already a free podcast.
It is.
It's going to be an even more valuable free podcast.
How long did we talk? Oh, an hour and a half.
We're an hour and a half, but we're going to cut out like nothing because now we're going longer.
What are we going to watch next week, George?
Well, Tim, glad you asked because let me tell you, in a panic,
Oh,
I didn't even know because I forgot. But luckily,
It's going to be a
because
movie
I
from
spent
last year, isn't it?
No, I spent a lot of time hanging around Tubi, and I actually will mark movies I want to see a lot. And one of the movies I did a while ago that I wanted to see is 1985's Creature.
1980.
Have you ever heard of this one?
I think I've seen this one pop up.
It is. It's a alien
I've
clone.
seen it.
Yeah.
Is it in
And I've
outer
definitely
space?
seen it in the past. It's set in outer space on a station. People find some weird eggs. They take them on the ship. I think it's just Alien. It's just
Okay.
Alien without the production values. That being said, if I recall, it's actually kind of decent, maybe, but also looks like it's maybe cheap. I don't know. We'll see.
Is there a
So
star in
don't.
it? It's got any stars?
Yep. Let me see. Creature, 1985. Stars. Klaus Kinski.
What?
Yes.
Oh my
This
God.
is gonna be excellent.
Got lots of Klaus Klinske facts.
Yeah, man, we're gonna. I hope this might be how we finally get Werner Herzog to listen to our podcast.
We're going to Klaus Klinske the fuck out of this.
Boys, why would you have Klaus Kinski on?
Isn't he dead?
He's a nihilist. I think Klaus Kinski is.
Yes.
Yes. Is he? Let's see.
I think he is. I'm not happy about that. I'm just saying he is.
It sounds to me like you're pretty happy he's dead. You're doing a lot yeah, he died in 91. Holy shit.
Oh, wow. I
He's
know.
super dead.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Did he drink a lot? We'll find out next week. Tune in next week to
he's-
find out if he drank a lot or if
Yep.
if Herzog killed him.
Yep.
Because he tried a few times, right?
Yeah, they had a funny relationship where they worked together multiple times and like definitely strangled each other. Maybe we'll even talk about Klaus Kinski's daughter, Natasha Kinski. Rawr. Cat women. Cat people? Cat people.
Oh, that's right. So much to talk about. It'll be
So much
such
to
a
talk about.
better episode next week.
Next 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Be here in 2
2
weeks. All
In the
right.
meantime, listen to our old
Yay.
episodes. Don't listen to the ones with me. Don't listen to the ones with John or Cablasto. You'll be disappointed. The ones with me are the ones you want to
I
hear.
won't be on steroids. I won't be in the
Tim won't
buzz
be
zone.
on Tim.
I just want to punch things.
Go down to the barn and start a fight.
All right. Thanks for being here. Go your
Thanks,
own way.
everybody. Go your own
Goodbye.
way. Goodbye.
This has been a Pity Party Line production.
It's a party